Nation, we've made it to Friday, TGIF edition of the show, the hottest show on the streets. Talking Bama football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, the Bama boys, the Crimson Tide alums, doing their thing at the NFL Scouting Combine at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. We'll talk a whole lot of that and much more on this evening, but you're rocking and rolling right here on the hottest show on the streets. We bring this to you on from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you via YouTube. And speaking of a channel, you know what time it is. You hit that subscribe button right now. You tap subscribe right now. You get every friend, every family member, every diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Crimson Tide football to subscribe, because you're loving what's happening. They will also. Don't forget to hit the like button too. Tap the like button. Give us that thumbs up. Make this your place to talk Bama. That daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. All donations welcome. All donations appreciated. Trying to get this show 50 likes out the gate right now. Hit that like button. Also, turn on all post notifications so that way you get all of your updates on Bama football. We want to hear from you tonight, the incredible fans of Tide Nation. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358, the number to let your opinion be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. But Eli, as I mentioned before, Bama alums, the former Bama players, they are tearing it up. Lucas Oil Stadium NFL Scouting Combine from Indianapolis. 13 Alabama players are at the Combine, and quite a few of them, they are putting on a show for NFL scouts, coaches, evaluators, GMs, owners. They are tearing it up in the Underwear Olympics. And starting this thing off, Bryce Young and Will Anderson, I mean, what did we expect from both of these two? These two are finding different ways to secure their NFL plays, their NFL draft stock in terms of both guys' top 5 picks. Bryce Young doing it from the standpoint of team interviews. He not throwing at the Combine, but he went to Lucas Oil Stadium and he just blew GMs, scouts, owners, evaluators. He blew teams away with his intelligence, with his football acumen, with his leadership, his poise, his ability to dissect offenses and defenses on the whiteboard, just his confidence to process information. According to several people that cited sources, his IQ off the chart in team meetings. Really blew people away. People don't give 2 cents about Bryce Young's height. They have fallen in love with this guy can ball. He knows the game. He processes the game. He's well polished. That's what they care about right now. And the crazy thing is, people, the Chicago Bears owner, Ryan Poles, he is strongly starting to consider trading the first round, the number 1 overall pick. He's considering to trade for the number 1 overall pick. If he trades out, if the Bears trade out now, several teams have lined up. They want the pick. They have become suitors. They want the pick, and they want to use it on Bryce Young. The teams have come out saying, hey, Chicago, we'll make business with you if you want to trade this pick, because Ryan Poles did say, we're looking over all of our options. So, if the Bears want to trade the pick, Houston's interested at number 2. Houston wants it. The Atlanta Falcons have become interested. They want the pick. Could you imagine Bryce Young playing for those Dirty Birds in Atlanta? Can you see it? The Carolina Panthers want the pick. They've become interested. The Las Vegas Raiders, after letting go of Derek Carr, the Raiders have become interested. They want the pick. So already, you're starting to see some suitors come out. Bryce Young killing it in these interviews. killing it in these team meetings, showing the confidence, the poise, the football acumen. Now here come these teams that are looking at the Chicago Bears saying, hey, Soldier Field, hey, monsters of the Midwest, if you want to trade the pick, we got money to blow. Give us the pick. So this is going to be very fascinating to see how this unfolds. But Bryce will throw at Alabama's second pro day, which is scheduled for April the 6th. So this is going to be it's intriguing, folks. But Will Anderson put his money in the bank. Put his draft money as a top 5 pick. He put it in the bank on Thursday. Will Anderson at 6'3" and 1/2 inches, 253 pounds. The wingspan's crazy. His body type cut from a different cloth. Ran an official 40 of 4.6 flat. That big man was moving. Anderson also quick, agile, smooth, nifty footwork in all of the on-field drills. Showed the power, showed the speed, showed the burst, showed the explosiveness, showed you, hey, top 5 pick for a reason. And when he was out there, especially in that 40-yard dash, his NFL comp in that 40, Khalil Mack, who was a top 5 pick in the 2014 draft, Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware. If you look at Will Anderson's measurables from the combine, his measurables highly resemble Khalil Mack, Von Miller, and DeMarcus Ware. NFL.com writer Lance Zierlein straight on compared Will Anderson to DeMarcus Ware. Remember DeMarcus Ware, that 2005 NFL draft, high first-round pick, the Dallas Cowboys, and had a strong career out of Troy University. I'm just saying. So Will Anderson put his draft money in the bank there on yesterday. The surprise of the combine, to me, Brian Branch. Wow. I mean, he had a great 34.5-inch vert, 10-foot 6-inch broad jump. Both of those two strong. 40 time 4.59. Sub 4.640. Got speed to him. Can move. Very fluent in his on-field workout drills. Impressed the people in his team meetings. People have been comparing Brian Branch all day. Minkah Fitzpatrick, of whom Lance Zierlein, NFL.com, says he's right there on par with Minkah. People have also compared him Earl Thomas, out of Texas. Play for the Yellow Seahawks. Need you to boom right there. That Earl Thomas. There's also been some comparisons to Tyrann Mathieu and Troy Polamalu, where Brian Branch is concerned. And to me, I kind of knew out the gate that of all the defensive backs that declared for the draft for Alabama, the one guy you knew, first rounder, Brian Branch. He's got the tape. He's got the versatility. He's got all the tools. He's got better each and every year during his time at Alabama. This past year, his best year. And I see him, Eli, coming off the board. Watch between picks 15 and 20. He's going to come off the board right there between picks 15 and 20. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, have pick 17. He says it'll be a dream come true to play with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Watch Pittsburgh get pick 17. They can make that happen. They can literally make that happen. Now, of course, Jordan Battle has recently ran his 40, ran it at 4.56. Strong time there for Jordan Battle. A lot of these guys putting on a show here at the NFL Combine, which will continue until Monday. So continue to watch your Bama guys do their thing at the NFL Scouting Combine. We take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. Just getting you started here on a Friday. When we get back, we go on the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Let us up. We'll get to you after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama team paper. which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
We're back, folks, to the action from the break on a Friday TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Continue hitting the like button, tapping that subscribe button. All donations welcome. We got Kevlar, the Weld Warrior, with that $19.99 in the super chats. Appreciate Kevlar. My man Big Bill from New York with that 501 in the super chats. Appreciate Bill right there. Kevlar right in. What are my thoughts on Saban not liking the three teams Alabama's going to have to play every year? That being Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU, from the new, I guess, schedule alignment that's coming to the SEC. I mean, Saban has always been one to have a 9-game SEC schedule, right? He's always wanted that. So, I mean, he gets that. He wants more competition. He enjoys more competition. I don't know what is necessarily not to like about it, because you're getting what you want. You're getting tough, hard-nosed competition. You're getting more intriguing football games. I mean, we as the Bama faithful, we've wanted, less of these cupcakes, more of these primetime games that mean something. So now you're getting that with this 9-team SEC schedule. I mean, I don't see a problem with it. But, hey, we'll see how it rolls out here. But we're going to go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, my name is Lucas. I am from Georgia.
Hey, Lucas, what's happening?
I got a question. Is Sasson Siri, is he gone?
He is expected to take the defensive tackle job at Colorado. His name is no longer listed on the Alabama football staff directory, so unfortunately, yes, Coach Sal is gone.
Man, that's going to hurt. Man, that stings. That stings bad. That stings.
It hurts because of the recruiter that he is, but more so than that, the coach that he is. I mean, what he does with outside linebackers, you can't replace that. What he did with guys like Courtney Upshaw and names like Terrell Lewis, Anthony Jennings, Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, and what he did with those guys, pulling the best out of all of those guys and making them monsters, that's going to be hard to replace.
But do you think we're gonna be A-okay with Kevin Steele and Austin Armstrong? Do you think they could pick up the slack?
Well, I think Bama will be fine with Kevin Steele and Robert Bala. Austin Armstrong actually took the DC job at Florida, but with Robert Bala and Kevin Steele, I think Bama will be fine with Bala, Steele, and Freddie Roach. I think the combination of those three scheming things up, and on top of that, you bring back Charlie Strong as a defensive analyst. So I think having Strong, Steele, Freddie Roach, Bala, Travaris Robinson, this whole defensive staff, I think Saban and the staff will work something up here.
All right.
Appreciate my man Lucas there. Go ahead, Lucas.
Then we still got no.
kind of lost Lucas there, but we appreciate Lucas from Georgia there for that call. They're starting off the show here on a Friday. We go to this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
You know who it is, Steven. Roll Tide from Ballard Sports Media. How y'all doing?
Doing great, Chris. Cannot complain here, man. You got the NFL scouting combine. Quite a few, Bama alums, Bama guys doing well here, putting that money in that draft bag. And, of course, Alabama making it official today with Robert Bala. He has been added on to the coaching staff as the inside linebackers coach.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A great addition to the staff. And obviously what we saw today at the combine, I saw Henry To'o out there, saw Brian Branch, saw Will Anderson. Amazing what these guys did, and I'm excited for them on the next level. I wanted to call in tonight to talk a little bit more about the whole Nick Saban, debacle going on with the scheduling conflict. He's not a fan of how it's going to change up, but obviously – he does have to adapt because the whole world of college football is just changing before his eyes.
Right. It is. I mean, you look at it with name, image, likeness, with the transfer portal, with so much happening now, with players having so much more power now that they've had more so now than ever before, you have to be able to adjust and adapt to certain things. And Coach Saban was the first one to mention how he wanted more challenging games. He wanted more of a challenging schedule. He wanted a 9-game conference schedule. He wanted more SEC teams. So now it has trended more so toward that direction. I remember in 2020 where we had the situation with COVID and we wondered will we even have a college football season, and it became a 10-game conference-only schedule. Boy, that had fans on their feet. I mean, it was a good matchup every single week in 2020 because it was conference-only schedule. And because of that, you had a lot of people wondering, can we get more of this? Saban has been pushing for more tough games. Now he's going to have the more tough games.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's something we should all embrace as fans. And I think the coaches should embrace it. I think the players, you got to admire toughness. I know toughness is one of the key components of the process in Tuscaloosa, but I also got one more thing for you. I made a video about it on my channel, but I think maybe it was you guys. I don't remember who put it out, but Ty Simpson being compared to Patrick Mahomes. What do you think about that? Was that you? I think it was you guys that put it out, but to have that comparison for him early on in the spring, I don't know, man. This might. It's going to be something.
It's crazy, Chris, because DeMarco Hellams, who's at the combine, DeMarco Hellams, I guess reporters interviewed him. And reporters were talking about, who are the Bama players that we'd be looking out for next fall. And he named Ty Simpson. And so that they asked DeMarco, okay, why Ty Simpson? What's special about him? And so DeMarco says that he's kind of got some Patrick Mahomes in him. And the moment DeMarco said that, the media ran with it. The moment DeMarco Hellams said it. So DeMarco has practiced. He's been in practice with Ty Simpson. So if anybody was to know up close and personal from practices, from being around him, what could Ty Simpson be like, DeMarco Hellams would have a firsthand view because he's practiced against him. So hopefully what DeMarco's saying is on point there. We will see once spring practice starts, but that did come from Mr. Hitman Hellams.
Awesome, man. I can't wait. I mean, that's one heck of a comparison, and I don't say this to downgrade Simpson, but let's be honest, he was third string last year, and even Jalen Milroe didn't get much time. So, I mean, this quarterback race this offseason, it's far from over. I think we just got to wait till the spring game comes around and all of us Alabama fans can actually see what you, the experts, and what Coach is seeing. But thanks for taking my call. I love you guys. Big Roll Tide from Coleman.
Absolutely. Chris, my man, Ballard Sports Media out of Coleman, calling in here to the show. We did not actually put that video out. That came from one of the other Bama outlets, but I did see where an article was put out from that, and DeMarco Hellams was the one interviewed at the Combine stating this. So I'm looking forward to spring practice to see how this all boils up here, or boils down, as I should say. But we take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, who you got? Steven, I tell you what, Wednesday night I had 3 heart attacks and a stroke, and I couldn't find you. What happened?
Man, look, man. I was behind the concession stand, man. I was behind the concession stand trying to get the hot dog, man. Trying to get the hot dog. But what a game by Bama men's basketball, winning the SEC champion regular season title outright. What a game by Javon Quinterly, had 24 points. I've always said this. When Quinterly understands I'm the 6th man off the bench, just come in, do my job, keep the offense in flow, give a great effort on defense. I mean, the crowd was tremendous. What a game, Wayne. What a fight. What a comeback.
Yeah, I nearly threw my hard hat on the court. I thought I was going to have to go out there and start playing, but this Coach Sal going to Colorado, I mean, Dion doesn't have an established program in Colorado. I had a guy ask me this a while ago, maybe he's listening. This is what I think about it. He's trying to sell a program. And trying to sell a program and having, a program established like Coach Saban does is as far east as the west is from the east and the east is from the west. I don't understand. Maybe I'm looking too deep into the program. I feel like we got some. I feel like we got some heads butting internally in the program. I think we got some internal programs, some internal problems somewhere, Steven. Something's not right.
I mean, and I agree with you on that, Wayne. From this standpoint right here, what I was told from close sources I trust high in the program, Sal Sunseri did not want to go off the field last year. He still felt and believed that he could still coach on the field. And we saw that in 2020, the numbers that he was able to produce from Will Anderson. And in 2021, he had Will Anderson and Dallas Turner playing like rock stars as the two combined for 27 of Alabama's 57 sacks, some crazy number like that. And then you move Sal off the field when he didn't want to be off the field. And this past season, we saw the sack numbers of Will and Dallas Turner both drop. And the reason for them dropping, Sal Sunseri was not on the field coaching. And now we're getting the news of, he's going to Colorado to be the defensive tackles coach. And the reason for that, he still believes he can still coach. So I don't know what the finite problem issue is internally, but not having Sal Sunseri, that is a hit in terms of what he brings recruiting, what he brings in coaching outside linebackers, because Sal Sunseri is cut from a different cloth. He's one of the OGs, and you just don't have one of your originals leave, especially when they still believe they can still do it.
Looks like Charlie Strong back in, Sal left. That's what I'm saying. Something's not adding up. But this Alabama plays Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn. Really, when they looked at it, they was just about to bump LSU out and put Mississippi State in that spot. A lot of people didn't see that. You probably saw that. It was going to be Tennessee, Auburn, and Mississippi State, but I don't know. I mean, maybe he's just being Coach Saban. I don't know. I don't have any idea. But anyway, it was a great game Wednesday night, and that place was rocking at Coleman Coliseum. You couldn't ask for a better atmosphere. This is a great show, hottest show on the street, hottest show on YouTube. Greatest show on earth, ain't no doubt about it. All y'all stay safe. Maybe they'll get everything worked out. We'll see here come maybe in August sometime. I love all y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, everyone. Be safe. We'll talk to everyone later on. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate Waylon calling in here on a Friday. I mean, to me, just to me, I'm happy to have Charlie Strong back in the program. Yes, I'm happy to have Hardin Harper in here now as the assistant director of player personnel. He comes over from Houston. There's some names that I'm excited about. Am I disappointed to see Sal Sunseri leave? Absolutely. I'm going to miss hearing this. If y'all get my linebackers one more time, I'm going to miss hearing Sal in that Italian mafia voice right there. I'm going to miss hearing that. But at the same time, once again, Saban finds a way to, you lose good coaches, but craft, develop, mold, pick out even more good coaches. We're going to say, I've just never been a fan of letting, the good ones just walk out there. But we'll take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hello, Stephen, Bill from New York. Nice to talk to you, brother.
Doing good, Bill. How we feeling?
Well, good. I just want to say, in terms of Coach Saban, I can understand to a degree how he feels, because I look at other teams, like you take Dabo, what he's doing in Clemson. He could play an all-conference schedule, and he's playing a bunch of nobodies. You know what I mean? The Big 12 is like the big nobody conference. No, you don't have like real strong teams there. So you take the three teams we have to play every year. All three of them are improving. And, let's face it, like, they changed recruiting rules because of Nick Saban. They do everything they can to, like, limit Saban's ability and to hurt us, the Alabama fans and the Alabama team. And you know what? They could keep on doing it, and they can, I don't want to get graphic here, but what I'm saying is we're still going to win because we're the Crimson Tide. And if I could say something else, Stephen, for one of the first times ever, like, I disagree with you about the sack numbers. I don't think it was necessarily because of Sunseri. I think our lines last year were soft. I think if you put Jonathan Allen or Payne, in between our outside linebackers, Will Anderson, I think the sack numbers would have really been better. I've said this before. I don't remember a team with a worse offensive line than we had last year. And it's not that they were bad, but, we talk about the Alabama standard. They didn't measure up, Stephen. They just didn't. Look at the left tackle. Steve, a good left tackle nowadays, right, a really strong left tackle. These guys go in the first round. They really do. Top 10, top 5. You think Steen's going anywhere near there?
No.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so either. So I don't know. I think we're the only team in the country that could lose the two best players in college football, with Bryce and Anderson. And because I'm guilty too, I expect us to be better next year. I think we're going to be better next year. We're going to be deeper at quarter. We got 4 guys that look really good at quarterback, or at least they look capable at quarterback. And I don't know who it's going to be. And the more you talk about it, the better this show is, because that is going to make a big difference, And I don't know I don't know. Look, again, I think the guy with the most natural talent, the guy who has the talent, the arm, the speed, the size, it's got to be Milroe. But that doesn't always make you the best quarterback. You know what I mean? When Jeff George got to the NFL, he had all the talent in the world, but he wasn't the best quarterback. You got a guy like Brady without like the great natural, like born ability. He didn't have it, but he was great. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Simpson, Milroe. And I told you how much I like this kid Holstein from what I see. It's going to be so exciting. What do you think, Stephen?
Billy, it's going to be fun to just look at all of this, and this is why we're in the month of March, spring practice set for the 20th. So, once we get out here on this field and we can see all 4 of these quarterbacks and all facets of this football team, it is going to be fun to watch. I want to look at what's the philosophy of Tommy Rees calling this offense. Having Kevin Steele back, calling this defense, what's he going to bring? The combination of Steele and Robert Bala and Freddie Roach, getting after the quarterback. Year 2 of Travaris Robinson with the secondary. How good is the secondary going to look? I mean, for goodness sake, you got Will Reichert back kicking field goals. Can he be perfect? Can he be perfect again, kicking field goals? So, I mean, there's just so much to really dive into and be excited for to start in the spring.
Otis, I think, can make a big difference because he was good last year. You know what I mean? And with a year experience, if he stays healthy,
he's dropped 100 pounds, Bill. He's dropped 100 pounds.
I know. And that kid, he can really make a difference. You know what I mean? Like I say, I have high expectations. And I feel for Saban because, like, so does everybody else. And the guy's up against a lot. He's got the whole NCAA, working against him and us, like I say. But listen, thanks for taking my call, Stephen. Always a pleasure, man.
Appreciate my man Bill from New York calling in here on a Friday. Like I mentioned, Jaheim Otis dropped 100 pounds, Eli. Otis came in here at 416. He's now 316. Basically dropped a whole person. 316. That's Deron Payne weight. 316. That's Dalvin Tomlinson weight. He's 316. If he drops 8 more pounds, that's 308. I mean, he's right. Wow, that's near Quentin Williams is playing weight at Alabama. And Jaheim Otis is doing he's doing his thing, man. I'm happy for Jaheim Otis. But Kevlar, the Weld Welder again, the Weld Warrior again, with that $19.99 in the Super Chats. Appreciate Kevlar right there. We got some Bama guys in the NFL that are being franchise tagged. We know Deron Payne of the Washington Commanders has been franchise tagged. He was the first one to get that. He'll make over $18 million on the tag tender. The Las Vegas Raiders are expected to franchise tag Josh Jacobs if both parties can agree to a long-term deal. They'll franchise tag Jacobs. Jacobs is set to make a little over $10 million off the tag tender. So those are some Bama players that getting franchise tagged here in terms of the NFL. But we take our next break here on the show. When we get back, we look into Robert Bala. It's official. Nick Saban, Alabama football. They've added him to the coaching roster. We'll talk about Bala and what he could provide after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
This is Matt Caddell, former Alabama wide receiver, and you're listening to In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith with Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And I got 2 words to say, baby. Roll Tide.
All right, folks, here we are on a Friday, TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show on the streets. We're talking your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith. Got the man, Eli Walker, and the production studio continue tapping the like button, giving us that thumbs up right there. Also, all donations welcomed and appreciated. But now, Eli, we look at, it's official. Robert Bala, a part of the Alabama football coaching staff, part of Nick Saban's roster. Robert Bala coming over from Liberty as a defensive analyst just a season ago. Press release came out today from the University of Alabama announcing the hire of Robert Bala. Nick Saban issued a statement about how happy he is to have Bala in the program. Bala issued his own statement, how excited he is to work with one Coach Saban. Bala, young guy, young name. sort of a relative unknown. He's got 15 years of coaching experience, but these have all come small schools. But primarily he has worked with linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks. But when you look at Nick Saban, he equates Bala as a great teacher, great recruiter, great coach, a guy that can evaluate well. You know, all these things Saban is saying here about Robert Bala. Now, Bala, as a defensive analyst at Liberty last season, he helped the Flames defense average 9.3 tackles for loss per game. That was first in the nation, first in college football. Liberty had 121 tackles for loss on last season, which was first in college football. Bala also helped the Flames average 3.46 sacks per game, 45 sacks in the whole season. That was third in all of college football. So he witnessed some good stuff. He helped in putting together game plans for good stuff for Liberty's defense. It's just now you in the big leagues. Like that song, Kevin Rudolph, welcome to the world. Welcome to the world, Robert Bala. This is the big boy league. Big man, dog eat dog town. You're in the SEC now. It's like Toto, we're not in Kansas no more. You're in the big pool now. You gotta swim. Gotta be able to breathe on the water. Hold your head above water there, Mr. Bala. Now in the SEC, down to Alabama. Can he get this done? Coach Saban thought enough of him to hire him. Would I have made that move? More than likely not. But once again, I'm not the one getting paid $11.6 million, even though I would like $11.6 million right now. I'm not the one getting paid that. That's Coach Saban. So Coach Saban thought enough to, hey, we're going to make this move here. Get Robert Bala in here. Of course, he's going to be able to pick the brain of Kevin Steele, who's the defensive coordinator for Alabama. That should help out quite a bit. Also pick the brain of Freddie Roach, defensive line coach. That should help. Pick the brain of Travaris Robinson, cornerbacks coach. That should help. You can always pick Coach Saban's brain. He's right there. That's the overarching theme here. So that should help also. But Robert Bala, what he does get, he inherits a wildly talented inside linebacker room. Deontay Lawson in that room. Hendrick Blackshire in that room. Jahad Campbell in that room. Sean Murphy in that room. Ian Jackson in that room. Transfer Justin Jefferson from JUCO, Hutchinson Community College, in that room. You got another transfer from Georgia Bulldogs, Tresman Marshall, in that room. And then you got the incoming freak show, Quay Walker. Well, Quay Russo, not Quay Walker, I'm thinking Georgia. Quay Russo from Montgomery, Carver High School, in that room. So Robert Bala's got some guys to work with. Can he develop them? Can he get them in the right spot? Can he coach them well? Can he not have them thinking as much? Read, get to the ball, attack. Play with your head on a swivel. Cover well, come downhill, make plays, play with bad intentions out there in terms of the opposition. That'll be Robert Bala's job. If he can do that, welcome on in. I mean, if he can do that, welcome on in. He helped put in some good numbers at Liberty, but you're in a whole different ball game now, son. You're facing a whole different monster. This is the Southeastern Conference. This is where it just means more. And you're in Alabama. What's that slogan, Eli? Where legends are made? You trying to be a legend, Mr. Bala? Here we go. Here we go. But gonna have a fun linebacker room to work with. Coach Saban shaking up that dice game again, trying to hit that 7-11 on Robert Bala. We will see how this all unfolds, but he is the latest member here on the coaching staff. Press release came out today. But we take our next break on the show. Don't touch that dial, people. When we get back, we go back to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts. We get more into the discussion with you, the Bama Nation, after this.
deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, people, we're back in, rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Eli, apparently, Jordan Battle and DeMarco Helms can both run. Jordan Battle ran a 4.56 in his 40. DeMarco Helms ran in the 4.5s. So, help me out here. What happened last year? If Jordan Battle ran a 4.56, and I'm just seeing Marco running 4.5, 40, what happened last year? I mean, did Charles Kelly not do the job did Charles Kelly not do the job as a safeties coach? Is that it? I mean, if that's it, I understand. If that's it, I mean, I can see he's gone to Colorado, but did Charles Kelly not do the job as safeties coach? I mean, Jordan Battle running a 4.56, DeMarco Helms in the 4.5s. We go to the phone lines to grab your calls right now. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's going on, Steve? Elijah here. How you feeling, man?
Doing good, my man. How about yourself? How you feeling?
Man, I can't complain. I just called to get a little information on this guy, Robert Bala. Now, do you know what position did he hold at Liberty? Was he just an analyst?
He was just an analyst at Liberty.
I mean, yeah, Liberty. What on the field experience does he have? Like at any of his other coaching jobs? Like, what positions did he coach? Like hand on, or was he just an analyst everywhere he went?
Okay, Elijah. So at every coaching stop he's been, whether it was at Snow Junior College, Palomar College, Ottawa University, it was at Ottawa University, and then it was at Southern University of Arizona, Southern Utah. So Ottawa University of Arizona, and then Southern Utah. So in all of those coaching stops there, he was with linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks. Those were his on-field roles. At Snow College, he was with linebackers. At Southern Utah, he was with safeties. At Ottawa, he was with cornerbacks. So he's been primarily linebackers, safeties, corners.
Because I was just wondering, why not just be Charlie Strong? Instead of giving him an analyst job, why not make him the inside linebackers coach? Because years ago, Charlie Strong had Florida's defense rocking. You know what I mean? He might not be a great head coach, and not everybody's cut out to be a great head coach. Some people are position coaches, and as a defensive coordinator, Charlie Strong, he did his thing. So to me, if I don't know if he was in the loop at that time, but it would make a lot more sense to me to have Charlie Strong as that middle linebackers coach instead of an analyst off the field position. Let me know what you think, Steve.
I mean, I'm gonna say this, Elijah. Not only just Charlie Strong. I think about it like this. Normally under Saban, the defensive coordinator doubles as the inside linebackers coach. So why not Kevin Steele? You've already made him the DC. Just have him coach the linebackers too.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, because Kirby Smart did it. Pete Golden, he did it, even though, he didn't do a great job at it. But most of the time, your defensive coordinator is your inside linebackers coach, because the defense is formed around your middle linebackers. So, I mean, I don't know much about this guy Bala. I don't want to kick his back in before we give this guy an opportunity. But, just from past experiences with seeing Charlie Strong and how Charlie Strong goes about running a defense, you would think, like, you would want somebody that, is a hard-nosed coach or really knows defense to be coaching those middle linebackers, especially since that's the position I feel on the defensive side of the ball Alabama has been lacking over the last few years. That's the position that it has slowly regressed, basically. And I think Freddie Roach has a lot to prove, because, to me, their defensive line ain't the same like it used to be. You know what I mean? Without Will Anderson up there. But as far as the interior defensive line, you're talking about defensive ends and DTs. Steve, that defensive line ain't like when we had the Jaron Reeds and people like that. I mean, that was like a machine rolling these guys in consistently. It hasn't been the same. So I think Charlie Strong definitely should have a more on the field position, especially his track record at what he did at Florida.
Oh, I agree. I mean, you look at what he did at Florida, you look at his ability to recruit, to relate, to coach, to get the most out of every player. Charlie Strong is one of those legends. And it would have been better to have him in an on-field role. I mean, like I mentioned, you have Kevin Steele as a defensive coordinator. Just make him the inside linebackers coach. I mean, I understand wanting to give a young guy an opportunity. And who knows? Robert Bala could be the big blessing here. Who knows? We'll have to see. My thing here is when you look at just the linebacker position in a spot that is the leader, that is the captain, that is the heartbeat of your defense, that is the quarterback of your defense, you want to have a guy with some seasoning under his belt coaching that spot, because that is a pivotal spot. But once again, Saban rolling the dice on getting another young guy in here, seeing what he can do. Maybe this pans out. Hopefully it pans out. But that's why you look at this spring, Elijah. This spring is more than likely the most important spring in a long time in the Saban era.
Steve, but I'll just leave it at this one last thing. As far as all of our guys coming back, the group that we have coming back at that inside linebackers position, we're not returning an alpha dog. We're not returning somebody that has cemented himself in a spot. To me, all those guys could turn around and be a starter. Nobody, to me, has stood out, because a lot of those guys haven't even gotten significant playing time. To me, a lot of them are still don't have the experience yet. So I feel like a person like Charlie Strong can teach more, especially since, like I would say, they all new booties, basically. He could probably get more out of these guys. But, I will say this. At least Robert Bala, he has a Kevin Steele and a Charlie Strong to go to for information, for guidance, if he does need the help, man. But since we don't have a Reuben Foster, Reggie Ragland, somebody of that caliber to man the middle returning, I thought they would definitely go with somebody, like you said, with a little bit more experience, more seasoned guy, has been in those dog fights before, to man that position. But, I guess we can only wait and see what it is. But thanks again, Steve, for taking my call, bro.
Appreciate Elijah from Jersey calling in right there. Here's a question. Here's a thought. Was there just nobody else out there for Saban to get? That's a legit question. That's a legit thought. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Steven, that's crazy. I mean, it's Nick Saban. He can pick up the phone and call the Monopoly guy. and the Monopoly guy will come work for him. I mean, this is Nick Saban. But hear me out. Were there any big names out there that wanted to deal with? Because you understand, Saban's different, different cloth, long hours, tough, rigid, excellence, perfectionism. No. Coaches out there, big names, that they want to deal with that. Some don't like that. It's a harsh reality, but a lot of them don't like that. A lot of them like that easy work, home balance. They don't like those long hours, especially if these are big name coaches with wives and children. They don't want all that. They don't want all that work. Versus a young guy who not married, who not a whole lot of responsibilities. They'll jump on a chance to work with Saban. Why? Because it's just them. It's like my dad would always say, when you single, when you ate, your family done ate, because it's just you. So you have to also ask this question: were there any true big names out there for Saban to pick from? There's that right there. So Robert Bala, I mean, he'll have Charlie Strong to pull from. He'll have Kevin Steele to pull from. He'll have Nick Saban to pull from. He'll have different guys to pull from. We take this call here, Young Album Show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's going on, Steven, man? This is Duval from Taylor City, Alabama.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Sitting working, man, watching the show, man. I appreciate the show, all the information you be giving out, man. You know, I'm a Roll Tide fan to the heart. I had just a couple quick points to touch on. What's going on with the special teams? Who you think we're going to have punt return? And what about our kicker? Our punter. Because I think, you know, this year we weren't able to flip the field as well as we were. You know, when we had KJ Scott, he was just kicking the love off the ball, and I don't know if we had that.
Well, as far as punt return, Kool-Aid McKinstry's back. So Kool-Aid will handle punt return. As far as kickoff return, you can have Kool-Aid return kicks. You can have Emmanuel Henderson return kicks. You've got guys like Kendrick Law who could do it. Shaz Preston could probably do it. It just comes down to, which guy is the most comfortable and the most confident back there, handling the ball, judging the bounce of the ball, possessing the ball, and then running with it, those types of things right there. But punt return, Kool-Aid did it last year, actually did quite well with it, so he's back. In terms of punter, James Burnip is back as the punter. He actually did pretty decent last year. I know he didn't have no 60, 70-yard moon ball like J.K. Scott, but not everybody can be J.K. Scott, unfortunately. J.K. was just different, just a completely different dude that came at the right time when Bama needed him. But James Burnip, very much so capable of punting the football, flipping the field. He'll be back. Alabama also signed a freshman in Connor Talty in this recent class. Now, he can punt. I know he's more so for the kicking side, but he can punt. But James Burnip is back.
Okay, Burnip is back. I hate we lost Anderson because I thought he had that it factor to make a difference in the special team, and I just didn't know where we were going to go, what direction we were headed in that. Another point, linebackers, man, just like you were saying earlier, the DC usually coaches the inside linebackers, and I know, we're linebacker. We've had some great linebackers. I just want whoever they're going to get the coaching, this new guy, I really don't know his resume like that. They got to be able to cover, and they got to be able to, have that gap presence. I think that's what we're really missing.
Got to be able to cover, got to be able to have gap presence, and at the same time, got to be able to get off blocks. That was what was missing last year. Bama could not disengage or dislodge themselves from offensive guards and tackles.
Yes, you're definitely right. Man, that's all I really want to know, man. I appreciate your show. I appreciate you letting me call in, man. You have a good weekend. Roll Tide, roll.
Appreciate Duval calling in right there. And that's the main thing for Robert Bala to do, right? You got to get these inside linebackers covering well, coming downhill, shooting gaps, getting off of blocks, just making plays. That's it. Just making plays. We're going to take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hi, Stephen. This is Gene Griffith from Carthage, Missouri. Listen, Mel Kiper Jr. has his top 25 NFL picks out, and that's not strange. What is strange is he has 2 Alabama Crimson Tide players, 1 and 2. But he's got Will Anderson, number 1, and Bryce, number 2. Just thought I'd like to tell you that and hear what you have to say about it, okay?
Appreciate it, Gene. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna say this. In the event that the Bears do keep the number 1 overall pick, if they don't trade it, because once again, Ryan Poles, GM, saying, hey, we're looking at all the options here at the Combine. If the Bears do keep the number 1 overall pick, I could see them, because they are a defensive culture. The Bears have been defense since Mike Ditka. So if the Bears keep that pick, then I could see them taking Will Anderson 1. And then 2, DeMeco Ryans, former Bama linebacker, now head coach of the Houston Texans, he did say at the Combine that Bryce Young is outstanding as a quarterback. So I could see Houston taking Bryce at number 2 if the Bears do keep the number 1 pick. But it's going to be interesting to see what did the Bears do with that pick, because they're saying, hey, we will shop it around for the right price. And you got the Falcons who want the pick, the Raiders want the pick, the Falcons want it, the Raiders want it, Houston wants it, Carolina wants it. There are about 4 or 5 teams that are saying, Chicago, if you don't want this pick, we'll take it off your hands. So it depends on what did the Bears do.
But no, you know what? What's incredible? Name me a college team that's had 1 and 2 in recent drafts. Okay, a number 1 and a number 2. That hasn't happened in my lifetime, I don't think.
It has not. It's been a while since that happened. And if Coach Saban gets it to happen for Alabama, a monster recruiting feather in his cap.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you for taking my call. Have a great evening.
Absolutely. Appreciate Gene calling in right there, giving his thoughts there on the possibility of Bama having number 1 and number 2 picks off the board right behind each other in the draft. It could happen for Will and Bryce and Will, however they go. Eli, if you're the Chicago Bears right now, what are you thinking? You could literally trade down, get a whole bunch of picks, or you take the pick because you're so defense culture centric. The last offensive player you took in the first round was Alshon Jeffrey in 2012. You take the first pick, you put it on Will Anderson, you could do that. Beef up your defensive culture even more. Or you trade the pick, give it to one of these teams that desperately need a quarterback, and Bryce goes 1. I just think, God, if the Atlanta Falcons trade up and get Bryce Young. Goodness, if my Indianapolis coach, Jim Irsay, if you do the right thing, trade from 4 to 1 and get Bryce Young. Man, this NFL draft's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Kevlar back in here with that 4.99 the super chats. Appreciate Kevlar. And that man doing business today. DJ Webb with $4.99. If donations, appreciate DJ helping us out here as well. Talking a lot of NFL Combine talk. Talking a lot of Bama for next season. Eddie Rhodes with a 50-piece. Goodness. Eddie Rhodes jumps in here with a $50 donation. We hit that $100 goal, people. There it is. Eddie Rhodes. Curtain call. Eddie. Grand Slam. Drop it in there. And I'm not talking about Denny's Grand Slam. I can go for some Denny's, though. I ain't talking Denny's Grand Slam, though. Does that come with 2 sausages and 2 pieces of bacon now? Or is it like, yeah, I'm getting hungry. Forget that. Anyway, we got Bama in the Combine. Got Bama players on getting franchise tagged, things of that nature. But next call topic here. This one actually goes to Tua Tagovailoa in terms of I don't know what the Miami Dolphins are thinking right now. I mean, one day they're saying that they're all in on Tua, that Tua's their guy, that they can't wait to have the long haul with Tua. The next minute, I'm seeing reports they're unsure about Tua's fifth-year option. What? I mean, the next minute, I'm seeing reports about, well, they're still kind of concerned about his durability, and they're looking at all of the options. They're weighing out everything. They're not sure about giving Tua his fifth-year option on his rookie deal. I'm like, Miami, make up your mind. Is Tua the guy? Or are you looking elsewhere? Like, seriously. We all see, when healthy, what Tua can do. Now, yes, I understand the concussions are a concern. Yes, they are. I get it. But if you're standing behind Tua, ain't no reason to be putting these reports out or have these reports out here. You're not sure about the fifth-year option on his deal. You're in or you're out. You make your move. Now, I know there's a lot of quarterbacks right now on the free agency market. Derek Carr is out there. Aaron Rodgers potentially could be out there, among others. But if you're sold on Tua, back up your word. Be sold on Tua. And do everything you possibly can to have him out there a full season next fall. We take our final break here, folks. When we get back to the action, we'll wrap things up with a discussion on Ty Simpson. DeMarco Hellams made the comment he made at the Combine about Simpson, but is the redshirt freshman, is he ready to take that jump and be the next great Bama quarterback, though? We'll wrap it up after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we appreciate all of you today for checking us out, for hitting that like button, for dropping in those donations, showing us the love here. Hottest show on the streets, back in from the break on a Friday, TGIF edition, in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And Eli, you gotta love former Alabama tight end Cameron Latu. Cam Latu at the Combine started off his career as a linebacker, transitioned over to tight end, became a good offensive player. At the Combine, he's saying, mark my words, Bama will win the Natty next year. That's what Cam Latu said in the interviews today at the Combine. Mark my words, Bama will win the Natty next year. So, we will all be holding Cameron Latu to his statement. Bama certainly has the talent to win that national championship. Got to get back on top. If you're trying to undercut Georgia, halt that momentum that the Bulldogs got going on, it starts this upcoming season. But final topic or final discussion here, folks, is going back to Ty Simpson and going back to DeMarco Hellams' comment from Lucas Oil Stadium of Simpson having some Patrick Mahomes in his game. I'm not going to say Simpson has Patrick Mahomes in his game, because Patrick Mahomes is just becoming legendary before our very eyes as an NFL quarterback. I will say this. Ty Simpson at 6'2", he's gotten bigger, gotten more muscle mass. We know he can move around. He's mobile. He's deceptively athletic. We know these things. We know he's got an arm. He's got accuracy. You watch him at Westview High School in Martin, Tennessee. 41 touchdown passes, 3 picks his final year of high school. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Tennessee for a reason. The guy works with QB Country. Very big quarterback factory right there. Quarterback training facility organization right there. Dude can play. Dude played in 4 games this past year, was able to keep his red shirt. So he got a lot of experience. You look at the receivers that Alabama brought in the 2022 class. Those guys all came in with Simpson. You talk Kobe Prentice, Isaiah Bond, Shaz Preston, Kendrick Law. They all came in with Ty Simpson. All those guys kind of have a little bit of a rapport with him. Not saying that they don't have anything with Jalen Miller, they more than likely do. I'm just saying all of these guys came in the same recruiting class of Ty Simpson. It's just really interesting because if Ty pops this spring, and his father, Jason Simpson, got a very strong coaching tree, as he's the head coach at UT Martin. But if Ty pops this spring, Bryant Denny ain't gonna be able to hold water, because that's what everybody's gonna be talking about. They're gonna leave the stadium going, Ty Simpson. Like, if Ty pops, this is gonna be a crazy summer if Ty pops in spring ball. I mean, crazy summer. That's what I'm saying. This spring, we got to be out there, Eli, on the practice field, getting all of his video. Because you look at, Milroe's got experience coming from this past season. He played in quite a few games, including the start against Texas A&M. And with Tommy Reese calling the offense, with him bringing his style, his flavor to the table, it should benefit Milroe. It should. But at the same time, I look at a quarterback like Ian Book, who was a 3-star coming out of high school, and how Tommy Reese developed him. Ty Simpson, a 5-star, way more talent than what Ian Book had. Tommy Reese with Ty Simpson talent? I mean, that could be something. I'm just saying, it could be. DeMarco Helms is saying Patrick Mahomes. Once again, I mean, DeMarco pumping up his guy because he competed against him in practice at Alabama. Man, spring ball is going to be crazy. Ready for March 20th now. I'm super ready for March 20th now. I mean, I was already ready for it, but it's like, Eli, if you can see me right now, I'm burning through my shoes now. I'm literally burning through my shoes now. Ready to get out here and get this film and get this footage and see for myself going on out here in these Bama practices. But we'll be able to look at Simpson, Milroe, and everybody. We gonna see the cream rise into the top in terms of this quarterback room. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, information, conversation, entertainment. In terms of your Bama football, you can check it out. You can check this out by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. Now, you download the app from the iPhone App Store, Rockin' Team Apple, Google Play Store if you have the Android phone. For your audio needs, here we go. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll try to be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. You can purchase, Bama fans, individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member. and or a subscriber today. That link in the description as well. Gotta shout out you guys, the incredible fans of Bama football, for all the phone calls, all the donations, all the chats, all the conversation that you bring to us here, making this your show, your network platform, channel, and space to talk Bama. Also, gotta shout out my man Eli Walker in the production studio, handling his thing there from behind the scenes. Until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored through the weekend in play. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Continue to enjoy the Bama boys and the NFL scouting combine throughout the weekend. And until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. You've been listening to In My Own Words.